The preview for episode 175 of the BTTH series has been released. In order to fight against the Soul Palace, Xiao Yan and Yao Lao respectively invited the Burning Flame Valley and the Flower Sect to join the alliance. However, winning over the Dantar proved to be somewhat tricky. Have no choice, Xiao Yan had no choice but to run for the position of Elder of the Little Pill Tower in order to forge an alliance. In this election, Xiao Yan unexpectedly encountered Hu Laoge, Yao Lao's former formidable rival. This person had held a grudge ever since he narrowly lost to Yao Lao at the original alchemy competition. Therefore this time, seeing Xiao Yan participate in the competition, Hu Laoge then decided to teach Xiao Yan a lesson and avenge his previous humiliation. However, Xiao Yan, who has experienced 100 lifetimes alchemy techniques, are now vastly different from what they used to be. As he unleashed his technique of condensing matter and forming an elixir, the whole place was in an uproar. Even the medicine master didn't possess such skill. Final Xiao Yan refined the legendary 9th grade precious pill. The 8th grade pill that overpowered Hu Laoge's 9-colored pill Thunder 1. The announcement ended Old Master Hu's face turned pale. He fought with Yao Lao for several years. Now, he can't even compare to the disciples taught by the Old Master. On the other hand, Yao Lao however, couldn't stop smiling. At their age the competitiveness has weakened considerably. On the contrary, they are more willing to train disciples. Now the disciples are shining brightly as teachers naturally. This is a great satisfaction. The competition has ended. The Grand Elder of Dantar then instructed the master and disciple to come with him. Let's discuss the follow-up alliance matters. Soon in a council chamber the 10 elders, including Xian Kongzi and 2 others, sat at separate tables. The master and apprentice sat to the side. According to the Elder, Dantar has always maintained neutrality. If this alliance is bound to break the rules of the Pill Tower. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan's rebuttal was also forceful and resounding. The Soul Palace has captured the souls of countless alchemists over the years. The Pill Tower is the holy land of alchemists. They were originally obligated to protect them, but you turned a deaf ear. This will inevitably cause dissatisfaction among many alchemists. Words for the elders didn't look too good. In recent years, due to the strength of the Soul Palace, Dantar has always been compromising. However, this only resulted in the Soul Palace becoming even more rampant. If they continue to tolerate, Naden Tower is destined for decline. A moment later the Grand Elder finally nodded. Now you are also an Elder of the Lesser Pill Tower. According to the rules, the Support Alliance won the vote. Naden Tower and Starfort Pavilion League of Legends. If the Soul Palace still doesn't restrain itself by then I, Dantar, will fight them to the death. I heard the anxiety that Yao Lao and Xiao Yan had been holding in finally subsided. Elder, rest assured, when that time really comes, it's not just the Dan Tower that's making a move. Upon hearing this, the Grand Elder smiled. When will the alliance begin? Xiao Yan said softly. 3 days later, at that time Starfall Pavilion Burning Flame Valley Hua Zone, Dantar will officially form an alliance. Upon hearing this, the elders were slightly moved. Both the Flower Sect and the Burning Flame Valley are formidable forces. If the alliance succeeds, what a colossal thing that would be. Even the Soul Palace probably wouldn't dare to be too presumptuous. Solved the problem of Dantar master and apprentice, he immediately returned to the Starfall Pavilion. Soon 3 days passed quickly. At this moment, the astral portal Xiao Yan, Yao Lao, Kalin, and the others had been waiting there for a long time. With a soft "fut," the group of beauties from the Flower Sect appeared together. 2 of them are the supreme elders of the Flower Sect, Qing Xianzi and Hua Xianzi. Yun Yun and Nalan Yangran followed behind. Xiao Yang's gaze lingered on Yun Yun for a moment. Then he turned to the 2 supreme elders. One of them was a high-level demigod. One is a mid-level demigod. His body fell. King Xianzi looked at Yao Lao with complicated eyes. His appearance was exactly the same as when Xianyu visited Yao Lao. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yan was slightly taken aback. It seems my teacher was just as much of a womanizer back in the day. Emotional debts are everywhere. Subsequently, Yao Lao and Xiao Yan also greeted him respectfully. Soon the forces from Burning Flame Valley arrived as promised. Leading them, Fire Cloud ancestors, red hair danced in the wind. Seeing the Fire Cloud ancestor again, Xiao Yan could still sense a terrifying aura. This person possesses the strength of a mid-stage 1-star Do Xing. He is a bit better than everyone else. Laughing loudly, old ancestor Huiyun slowly descended with Tang Zhen and Tang Hua. Old man medicine, I can't believe you old codger really didn't die. I recognized an old acquaintance. The old doctor smiled. Ha ha, Fire Cloud ancestor, I never expected you, old man, to actually reach the Do Xing level first. After a moment, Xiao Yang also stepped forward and cupped his hands in greeting. I've met old ancestor Huiyun and Valley Master Tang. His gaze swept over Xiao Yang once more. Fire Cloud ancestor nodded in satisfaction. Good, he truly is a handsome man. The more I look at it, the more I feel they're a perfect match for my Hua. Hearing the patriarch say such things in public, Tang Hua blushed. But out of consideration for his ancestor, he had to save face for him in public. She had no choice, he could only grit his teeth in anger. Regarding this statement, Xiao Yang was also somewhat embarrassed. And there was also the colorful scale little fairy doctor on the side. Therefore he didn't dare to respond for a moment. Just when Xiao Yang was feeling somewhat helpless, the Grand Elder of the Pill Tower and Xian Kengzi also slowly appeared. Even the Grand Elder of the Pill Tower has come. Ancestor Huiyun was immediately taken aback. Ouch, Lin Laoge, you old codger, you actually came too. Upon hearing this, the Grand Elder exchanged a few pleasantries with a faint smile. Seeing that everyone has arrived, the old doctor then arranged for everyone to sit in a large hall. Subsequently, the old doctor got straight to the point. Gentlemen, the actions of the Soul Hall over the years, everyone is aware many alchemists in the Pill Tower perished at the hands of the Soul Hall. The heavenly nether sect's erosion of the flower sect, the Soul Hall also has its shadow behind it. As for old ancestor Huiyun, they had a falling out with the Soul Palace back then. However, they have only been able to endure this long due to the strength of the Soul Palace. And my Starfall Pavilion, they were already irreconcilable enemies with the Soul Palace. Therefore this alliance, we then have a common enemy. Words fall, everyone nodded slightly. However, the Fire Cloud ancestor had one question. That is, after the alliance, will they interfere in the internal affairs of other sects? In response, the master and apprentice explained the alliance will not interfere in the internal affairs of the other sect. The main point is that everyone forms an alliance of offense and defense. When one side is in trouble, support from all sides. I heard everyone agreed. However, deciding who should become the leader of the alliance is proving to be a difficult issue. Since the alliance was proposed by the Starfall Pavilion. Therefore, in order to avoid suspicion, the old master of medicine took the initiative to ask the three sects to recommend him. After some discussion, King Xianzi's reputation is not very high. Although the Fire Cloud ancestor was powerful, but he has a bad temper and dislikes management. As for Elder Dantar, despite possessing considerable strength and reputation, but is too old and lacks energy. Therefore the most suitable candidate is still Yao Lao. Seeing that everyone recommended him, the old doctor no longer declined. Officially became the leader of the alliance. Elected the leader of the alliance, the next step is to name the alliance. Because the opponent is the Soul Palace, therefore, their names must be superior to theirs. More domineering than theirs. Hearing that the fire cloud ancestor used such a vulgar name as the Hall of Righteous Chi, Xiao Yan couldn't help but give a wry smile. With the soul as the temple, the sky is the palace. However, the so-called sky is heaven. Take its simple meaning. Our alliance, it was then called the heavenly abundance. How words fall, everyone agreed. Tianfu, this is indeed magnificent and grand. Tianfu alliance, good. Seeing that no one had any objections, the master and apprentice also raised their glasses. The alliance is now formed. Next, let's raise a glass to this newly formed Tianfu alliance. Just as everyone raised their glasses, the space in the center of the hall suddenly distorted. A cloud of black mist immediately appeared. Tianfu, domineering is domineering, but I'd like to know, are you lucky enough to have the life to enjoy it? Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly contracted. This black mist was clearly a projection of the Soul Palace's people. Moreover, he referred to himself as this prince. Could it be the lord of the Soul Palace? In response, the black mist rippled slightly. Perhaps it would be better to call me the Vice Hall Master. I came here today. The purpose, of course, is for the Tuosha ancient emperor jade in your possession. Words fall. The black mist transformed into a black mirror. The scene inside was Xiao Zhan, who was firmly chained up. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang's killing intent surged wildly. Father, seeing this, the figure in the black mist grinned. Hand over the Tuosha ancient emperor jade to this hall, otherwise, I will send back a thought. Your father will then vanish into thin air. I heard Xiao Yang's fists clenched so tightly they cracked. He understood that having the Tuosha ancient emperor jade in hand was his father's life-saving charm. Your methods are useless against me. If you want ancient jade, bring my father to me. Otherwise, if one day the ancient jade lost its connection to my father, then I will hand the ancient jade over to the ancient clan. At that time you'll never get it. Words fall. The figure in the black mist frowned. He hadn't expected the former to be so composed in the face of this situation. And this was exactly what Xiao Yang had thought. As a bargaining chip in the exchange of ancient jade, the Soul Palace did not dare to truly take Xiao Zhan's life for the time being. Xiao Yang, don't be so arrogant. Don't think that forming a so-called Tianfu alliance is enough. So you think you can contend with my Soul Palace? Just wait and see. And the Dantar Hua Zone, Burning Flame Valley, this muddy water, I advise you to avoid making unnecessary trips. Otherwise, it will be too late when the clan is destroyed and people are dead. The threat faded. The Grand Elder of Dantar sneered. You want to devour my pill tower? That depends on how strong your Soul Palace's teeth are. As for Qing Xianzi and Huiyun Lao Zhu standing to the side, they did not reply. But with their courage, how could he be so easily frightened into changing his mind by a single sentence from the Vice Hall Master? The next moment Xiao Yang didn't waste any words. A single palm strike shattered the black mist projection. Go back and tell the others. Soul Palace and the Soul Clan's bastards, I'll take them down one by one later. As the black mist dissipated, a chilling, eerie laugh echoed through the hall. Arrogant brat, as long as you dare to come to our door, I will personally kill you. Soon the main hall returned to calm. According to the Fire Cloud ancestors' speculation, that Deputy Hall Master's strength is at most a 3-star Doshing. He did not come in person this time. They probably also fear the lineup here. Words fall, everyone nodded. The alliance is now formed. After a few simple arrangements, they all returned separately. Start building interconnected wormholes. Next, as news of the Tianfu alliance spread throughout central China, countless people were shocked. 4 major forces, it was already a giant in the region. Now they've even formed an alliance. That lineup was truly terrifying. Unconsciously, with the wormhole construction completed, the alliance is also thriving. As for management, the old doctor doesn't need to worry too much. Although the Wind Venerable was not strong, but he managed the League's affairs very well. In order to deal with the Soul Palace, the Alliance established the Intelligence Hall, investigate the locations of all the Soul Hall's branch halls, and even the main hall in the Central Plains. Certainly, while probing the Soul Palace stronghold, the Alliance also formed some extremely powerful squads. Special Patrol Alliance area to prevent alchemists from having their souls captured by the Soul Palace. That's all. A month passed quickly. The strength of the League, its reputation, also grew stronger. Numerous sects saw this. People are scrambling to apply to join. Soon, in a quiet courtyard of the Starfall Pavilion, hearing all kinds of intelligence and information, the old doctor took a sip of tea. The Soul Palace remained silent. If I'm not mistaken, they should wait for the pure lotus demon flame to be born 9 months later. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan frowned. The Soul Palace hasn't collected all the fragments of the demon flame diagram yet. How could they have known about the emergence of the demonic fire? In response, the old doctor smiled faintly. This isn't the first time the pure lotus demon flame has descended upon the world. The Soul Palace has been passed down for so many years. There are some records after all. I heard. Xiao Yang touched his brow, somewhat speechless. If that light in my mind doesn't work. He'd wasted his time searching for that fragment of the demon flame map. At the moment, the demon fire will be born in 9 months. Therefore, Yao Lao asked Xiao Yang to go to the 9 Netherworld Python clans' 9 Netherworld Yellow Springs. Because there are yellow spring blood crystals there. It can be used to refine the 9th grade 9 Yin Yellow Spring pill. This elixir contains extremely yin power. This can significantly increase the success rate of subduing the pure lotus demon flame. Furthermore, there are colorful scales. She was a 7-colored, sky-swallowing python. If one uses the 9 netherworlds to temper the body, in addition, she also has 9 colored raw stones. Perhaps it could evolve into the legendary 9-colored sky-swallowing python. Thus, he broke through to the Dosheng level in one fell swoop. Hear these benefits. Xiao Yang was also excited. However, the 9 Yin Yellow Springs is a sacred place under the jurisdiction of the 9 Netherworld Python clan. Moreover, the bottom of the Yellow Springs is extremely yin and cold. Even the old master of medicine dared not venture deep into it. Hearing Xiao Yang's worries, the old doctor told Xiao Yang to go ahead. If you encounter the 9 Netherworld Python clan, they might dare to make things difficult for you. Tear Space Jade slip. He and the Fire Cloud ancestor and the others will rush over to help. After all, the Tianfu Alliance is not afraid of them now. Furthermore, Xiao Yang has a different kind of fire protecting him. There's no need to worry too much about the extreme yin and cold of the 9 netherworlds. This video will end here.